Dude, doesn't that rip?
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot.
Welcome back, people of all races and most religions. It's the You're an Idiot podcast. I'm Alex Dragovich with my fat co-host, Geoffrey.
Incredible. Which religion are you leaving off?
Oh, I can't say.
I think there's no Buddhists listening to this pod.
Really?
Not after what the Dalai Lama did today.
Sucking tongues.
You see this,
Sucking
Drago?
tongue. That's like an experienced guy.
That is a...
He had
That's
three.
that's not his first tongue.
That's a freak.
He had three
Yeah.
chances not to ask the kid to suck his tongue, and then he's like, I'm going to do it.
In his head, he was like, do not do it. Do not do it. Rise above the temptation. And then in his head, he was like, so you want to suck my tongue?
He barely knows English, but he knows suck my tongue.
Was it in English? Do we know?
he said that in English. I saw the video. It's
Oh,
crazy.
really?
He
I didn't know
sticks
the
his whole
video.
there's a whole video. It's crazy.
I just read the article.
Let's introduce
we're
our
joined
guest.
by our guest, the hilarious Dan Soder.
What's
Dan,
up?
thank you for joining us.
Hi,
man.
guys.
Thank you for coming
I can't believe I'm here on Dalai Lama sucking
Dalai
tongue day.
Lama Day.
Yeah.
You live long enough to see the Dalai
how
Lama
old
be a
is he?
pedophile. He's like 85 at
Oh, so
least.
he's been around.
He's
What?
been around, yeah.
So what if, and no one wants to ever do this, right? But if we really do the math on this, what if reincarnation is real?
True.
Ooh.
And the one thing he's learned through 13 lives is that kid ass is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Untouchable.
Yeah, no matter what animal you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
if you are a rabbit, you want to fuck a little rabbit. He's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he's just like, his whole life, he's like, I know it's going to come back.
He's experimenting with every type of adult woman. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
the
like,
kids just, they're so
kid.
innocent.
I know it sounds bad, but trust me, I've walked this earth 13 times.
Yeah.
I've been to every restaurant in the area. The best dish.
It's kid tongue.
Suck my tongue. That's like a porn kiss.
It's amazing. Can you find the video file?
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing. He's in front of a bunch of children. He's in front of like
Dude,
200 kids when he does it.
I forgot how my fiance phrased it, but she was like, "There's no." She wrote, "No context makes you go, oh, that's a friendly sign."
That's just what they do in Tibet.
You know, dude, that's like their thing. You just gotta let
Tibetan.
them.
Yeah.
That's Tibetan.
That's what he should have done.
That's
is
why
he
the
goes,
Chinese don't let
That's
him
how
be
he
a
just
country.
defended himself. He's like, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's like Nirvana's through a tongue suck.
Everyone would do it. We'd all be going into the preschools like,
Yeah.
so,
Oh!
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
this
yeah.
looks like the same kind of. Oh my God! This is like when Urban Meyer was at the bar with that college girl.
Yeah, like she's just like
And it's-
straddling him.
There's just like an energy that you can see without even hearing it, where you're like,
Oh, he really sticks it
Oh,
out
my-
too. And he
fuck.
says to the kids, "Suck my tongue."
Did he say?
He
Yeah.
did in the longer video I saw.
"You were born to suck my tongue."
Yeah.
Oh, a hand on the cheek too. That's
Oh.
a good.
That
that's
was
a nice
after
goodbye.
the kid kissed him
Dude,
on
that
the
was
lips,
me.
too.
Hold on, go back. That's me drunk with every stripper in my 20s. I go,
Before
Like,
you go.
stay here, touch me one more time.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
to the very beginning.
Yeah,
The way she's like dancing on me, you're like,
Yeah. She said, no, that'll be 100. You're like, no, but come here.
Thank you, Bethany.
oh my God, I could take you out of all of this.
Yeah.
Damn. The Dalai
Maybe this will
Lama.
take the heat off the Catholics.
Yeah, they're
It's
like,
not
see?
just us. Everyone's touching kids.
Yeah.
It's not just a Catholic thing. It's just a thing of people. Everyone believes in God, and God
Yeah.
wants us to do that. Apparently,
I wonder if there
the
is.
closer you are to God,
That's
the
the-
more you're into the secrets.
That's got to
Yeah.
be the meeting they're having.
Yeah,
where they
they're-
go, do you guys just like want to roll this out like we all do this?
We double down.
Yeah.
We double down. The Jewish rabbis who suck the blood out the penises.
They're
Like,
like-
we've been doing it too. Yeah.
Guys, if he could make a Justice League of pedophiles.
Well, with other priests, they couldn't like in America, like they would just move them from like PA to like Chicago.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
all the
You
time.
can't move this guy anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, where do you?
Well, he's
you
gonna
can't-
die soon. Then they find a new one.
Oh,
Maybe
They
he was
find
like-
them when they're kids too.
Maybe he was like, oh, I was seeing if I could transfer into this kid.
Yeah, transferring my little breath, the essence of life into him.
I was
Yeah.
gonna, he's going to suck my tongue, and then I'd be like,
See-
oh, okay, you're the next Dalai Lama.
See if we can bridge the gap from
yeah,
life and death.
he's just like auditioning them. He's like, yeah, whoever can suck me the best.
Who do you think the first progressive liberal is going to be that comes out against Dalai Lama that like had pictures up with them and like, because you know there's like a lot of like Hollywood Hollywood elite.
He's always he's a
They're
very
the
liberal
ones
guy.
where they're like, well, the Dalai Lama told me that
Yeah.
want is in
Richard
the
Gere. He's always hanging out with the Dalai
and you're like,
Lama.
oh, so where were you when he was kissing boys?
He's on the Epstein flight log. We just overlooked it the whole time.
Dude, I saw a video online of, do you remember the show from the early 2000s, The Fabulous Life of?
No.
Yes,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the modern version of Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous,
okay,
where they'd be like,
yeah.
and when P. Diddy goes out, I had a terrible joke about it when I first started doing stand-up. I saw a clip of The Fabulous Life of, and they did Jeffrey Epstein.
No, and they're showing his houses.
And they're like, meet Wall Street mogul Jeffrey Epstein. Doesn't need the guy. He's got
like,
a house full of kids.
He's like, that room, don't go in there. That room, don't go in there.
And what's better than child pussy? Asked Wall Street magnate Jeffrey Epstein.
But until they get caught, they're like, oh, he's so funny. He's such a goofball.
Yeah,
oh, Jeff, so funny.
You always loved the one, but man, Dalai Lama on video.
You thought we had heroes left. No more.
Horny gets all my heroes.
Everyone's horny.
Yeah. Everyone's susceptible.
We've all been there. Come on.
That should be the werewolf thing. Like start changing the story from it. You turn into a werewolf to just a horny guy.
You turn into a pedophile on
You're
a
like,
full
"Oh,
moon. Yeah,
oh, look at that little butt. I want to pinch it.
It's the only way to turn back is
Yeah.
to get a little bit of that young boy cum. Yeah.
A little bit of the young boy
Just
cum.
a drop of the young boy cum. Keeps the voice young if you're a singer.
It's
yeah.
quelched by thirst.
That's what Zeppelin was putting in there. Yeah.
They were getting 13-year-old girls to drip in.
I mean,
Boy,
now
yeah.
that's starting to come out now that in the 70s.
Oh, they
Steven
were
Tyler.
he got a girl to parents to give away custody of her. So she
That's
could tour-
really? Could
you
when
imagine-
she was like 15, so she could tour with Aerosmith.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
being so good at music that someone's like, take my kid,
The
dude.
parents were like, yes, they let him do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What are you doing?
Jimmy Page had a sex slave who was 14 live at
Yeah.
his mansion.
And
Yeah.
like, there's a bunch of
Really?
pictures of her at parties and
Yeah,
stuff.
and they put a shark up some woman's pussy too. That
What?
a
Yeah,
big
it was a
one.
mud shark.
I don't think that woman was underage, so it's actually cool as hell. But they
So
put
that-
a
so now
they
it's
put
rock-
a
then
mud
it's rock and
shark.
roll.
That's
She's-
rock
she's-
and roll.
she's 18.
If she's 18, put a shark up her pussy. you
Yeah,
know?
dude, get crazy.
It's almost like power is bad. You start to think.
Yeah.
Maybe, might be. This podcast gets to 5,000 Patreons. Who knows what Drago?
Oh, you're gonna
You'll
become a monster.
We'll become
Yeah.
monsters.
Yeah, I wonder what you would do if this really pops off. Because
I
you have
don't
a lot of
know.
sexual frustrations, kind of.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be sexual. I'd be violent probably. I'd take some shots at long range in a poor neighborhood or something.
Oh, okay.
or
Jeffrey
a
has,
trailer park at a trailer park. Pop a few pistol shots in them.
Yeah, Jeffrey has young king energy, like very
Yeah, I'm
much
like-
where he's like, I want to watch them suffer.
Yeah. Damn.
Father, ride me out to where the poors live. I want to watch them die.
I just shoot airsoft guns
Yeah.
at them and stuff. That's what I would do
Yeah.
probably if we're being real.
Oh my god.
That's
Put
pretty
some
tough.
laxatives in
I
their
would just
water.
do like what Elway did. I heard he would just like fly girls in like from different, like he would like have girls from who are on the Hawaii volleyball team and just
UNC.
fly them. Oh, UNC.
It was Northern Colorado. I grew up,
Northern Colorado.
I grew up
Okay.
in Colorado, and when that story broke, everyone was like, it was supposed to be a news story, and all the guys were like, Elway rules.
Wait, what was
Yeah.
he doing?
He had a house in Mexico, and
Yeah.
he would fly.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
The University of Northern Colorado, like he had a couple girls on the volleyball team he was fucking.
Yeah.
And he'd fly him down to his house, and like him
They
and his
just have like
boys
Yeah.
orgies
would
and
just go and
wild.
party in
See,
Mexico.
that's cool. That's responsible. I
That's
think
the thing
not
too.
bad.
Yeah.
Like when you have this kind of power, why not just go like? There's clearly a line. Just go like 19 or 20.
Yeah, just go
Why do you
95
have to go 17?
Well,
yeah.
If I'm Leo right now, I'm being like, you guys are giving me shit?
Right.
24.
He's
I keep
doing
it at
it right.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that girl's in the new show, Daisy Jones and the Six, and she's like the hottest person to ever live. Dude. She's
Oh, really?
really the
You
hottest.
keep track of
Yo,
his
hey,
girlfriends.
Fonz, while we're talking, just Daisy Jones and the Six girl.
I
I'm
like
sure
Alex.
it'll come up.
Alex is a Leo pussy tracker.
Yeah. I bet I
Where
can
he'll
see
he'll
this.
step outside of a club and touch the ground and be like,
Leo has a new woman. Yeah.
she was
Yeah,
here.
to the left.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. This
Or just
happens
go
every
go
pod.
cast.
You bring up a white woman
Yeah,
and we
now
look her up.
No, first of all,
This
no,
happens
I
every
think she's
week.
half something.
Riley Keough,
Is that her?
Camilla Marone,
No.
right there.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh
Go
yeah. Okay.
go-
Yeah. Oh, there's your.
yeah,
oh yeah, you
that's
showed her
her with-
earlier. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
go to images.
Do you think he's ever like?
Dude, she's untouchable.
Yeah, that's a girlfriend. She looks
6
like a
years.
young Sandra Bullock.
Wait, they were
What?
together
A
for
little
6
bit.
years?
She looks a little Sandra.
Hold on, that's not Sandra Bullock.
Looks
right?
a little bit like Sandra Bullock.
No, it's not.
That's a whip.
Okay, that's a whip. I
No,
swung
it looks
and
like
I
a
missed.
mix of Jessica Biel and
Jessica Biel's
Emma
better.
Ratajkowski.
Oh,
Yes, dude.
sure.
She's like,
okay,
I think
that's
she's
much more
like,
accurate.
she's like half Italian, half something Venezuela. Oh.
something you don't like.
Something,
Something I'm not- something I'm not-
Something I want
that
fewer
pisses me
of.
off.
Yeah.
disgusting.
Something my
Something
dad hates.
absolutely disgusting. I mean, the guy after Leo has to be insecure.
How do you match up?
Oh.
Unless you're just a
You
like,
think he just tells them?
If you look up,
gorgeous.
Fonz, if you look up Camila and Leo, there's pictures of him just looking fat as shit on the beach. Though
I
it's
love
like
that.
it's the coolest picture ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
that right
Oh,
there.
wow.
That's kind of what we all
dude,
want.
I have
right?
that body right now. That makes me feel so good. I feel seen. Is this what is this what it is?
I
Body
think
Is this what
it's
positivity.
This is body positivity.
Is this
what
what
we've been
representation
searching
is
for.
about?
Yeah,
Can't
you're
body
good.
shame.
Oh my
I
God,
thought
fats
he-
and minorities. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know
I
he
finally
got
get
fat.
it. Well, here's what he does. He gets to he's like a boxer. He
When he's
walks
in a
around
movie, he
fat,
gets really
and then he
hot.
gets into fighting shit.
Yeah, yeah.
For like one
He hasn't
movie and then
been-
chills.
I
Yeah.
don't, what has he done recently?
Well, he just did something in the Flower Murders.
Oh,
something in
the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna be
cool.
good.
Yeah, about
yeah.
the book. I'm
yeah,
fucking up. I know.
it's like Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Some
it's a
Scorsese.
great book. Gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
we talked about this one, Drago. The Indians who had all the oil in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Remember Casey talking?
completely forgot it.
Yeah, I
who was
didn't-
that? Who was? Oh,
Casey
Shonima was
on.
trying to
yeah,
tell me.
these Indians found oil on the reservation. Then the
Facts
CIA
really just
murdered
go
them.
one ear out the other with me sometimes.
Can I
but-
do my trivia question?
Oh yeah,
with you?
sure. Wait, before we get into it, let's. I want Soder to say what he was saying, but right before
Oh,
the pod
yeah,
about
yeah.
you, like his
The type of
the
smart
type
I
of
am.
smart that Jeff is.
Jeff's very smart,
Okay,
but
yeah,
Jeff
that's
knows.
true.
But he knows he's smart, which limits his ability to grow.
Yeah.
But I will say that
That's true.
Jeffrey he's TA smart. Remember TA?
Teacher assistants.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
a TA in college? They're like, damn, this guy knows everything, but I feel like I know something that he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's always with Jeff.
Always.
He
You're
has no friends. They never
No,
had any
yeah.
friends.
They had friends, but you were like, I bet you drink wine and I drink beer. It's like a country song.
Yeah, we just don't quite mesh
Yeah,
together.
but
Yeah.
he's like one of the smartest people I've
I
ever
just
met.
And
pour
it's all-
water in my
it's-
whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
type of guy I was in
exactly.
It's
college.
and it's also
yeah.
weird that you want to be a TA that anyone even wants to be there. So you're
Yeah.
weird and
I
you're
would
weird
love to be a
automatic.
TA. That would
Yeah.
be a dream.
It's something
I
that
would-
nobody really wants to do.
I'd love to
but
TA
like, but
Byzantine history.
you're
That'd
that
be
type of
great.
smart.
That'd be awesome.
You just know Byzantine history,
and I
Like,
would be
you know it.
excited, and the class would be falling asleep, and I'd just have a half hard on.
God, and when you'd be going through the work and you'd be like, oh, we'll see, here's your problem.
You just don't understand the
Years.
Byzantines.
You don't understand.
And when the professor misses class, that's like your fucking big
Oh,
day.
my
dude.
day I come in like I've been ready my whole
Ooh,
life.
yeah, you got backup quarterback energy, but scholastically.
Yeah.
Trying a little too
Dude,
hard.
you're Alex Smith, but like for
Trying to get a little
for
too
history.
fancy up there. Yeah.
that is true. Oh yeah, hit me with this trivia question.
Okay, it's about Easter. We all know Easter.
Ooh,
Do the
shit.
Serbians celebrate Easter? He's like
Oh.
a weird Christian religion.
It's Orthodox Christian.
Serbian
so same
or-
thing as
Do
like
you
Greeks.
celebrate Easter?
Dude,
Next week, a week later.
Oh, it's later. Why?
Yeah.
You think he cooked a little bit longer in the tomb?
They think their calendar is literally a week later. So
Oh,
it's like
you're
Christmas,
still on the Gregorian calendar
yeah,
or
Christmas
whatever?
is a week later, and
Oh.
so is Easter. Yeah.
What? Okay. Who
Is-
killed Jesus then?
Oh,
That's the question.
is that the trivia
Ro-
That's
question?
the trivia question.
Romans?
I don't know. What do you think?
Why does Romans come to my head?
I don't know. What do you think it out?
Because you don't want to say the other one.
It was kind of a trap. I'm hoping. Who knows?
I know why, because you
Yeah.
want to work in this business.
Do you get it, Drago?
Yeah, yeah.
I got in huge trouble on Instagram the other day, so I wanted to see what you would say. Some lady wrote like 9 paragraphs.
They always do.
Because I said the Jews killed Jesus very flippantly,
Yeah.
and this lady's like, "You monster, you pig, you're no different than Hitler." I was
Wow.
like, "Okay, compared to an idol, I love that."
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No,
Guy
but
was a hell of an orator.
I did forget that too. People say that.
People say
but
that.
yeah,
I don't hold it against you all.
Romans was my first, but I don't know why that would be. mean, he fled right from Rome.
You don't remember the dude involved?
Pontius Pilate was a Roman.
Pontius Pilate.
Oh,
Washing
okay.
the
Is that what I'm supposed to
hands.
say?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
He needs to be. We need to push him towards the water sometimes.
I know. I need to be.
Pontius Pilate,
taught.
the Romans. killed
Okay.
Remember, he was the guy who's like. Remember, you didn't see Passion of the Christ?
Okay, so initially I was kind of.
You were right. No, you were 100% right.
No, you were right.
You were
It's done,
right.
folks.
I was trying to trap you, honestly.
Yeah.
I was hoping you say Jew.
This is-
Anti-Semites look for small openings.
Yeah, and that's
to
their
fold
main
to
one.
fold their thing into. But like anytime there's like some sort of power money construct, they're like Jews.
Yeah.
Something like-
Got globalists.
It's
globalists.
it's like a
Yeah.
caulking gun for dumb conspiracies. They're like for anti-Semites, it's their caulking
yeah,
gun.
let's
They're
shove
like,
Jew in here.
all right,
somehow.
well, if this is unfair, it's clearly because of them.
Yeah. It is weird to be mad that they killed Jesus because if they didn't, there wouldn't be Christianity.
Yeah, also
we'd be
he
Jewish
was-
then.
he was
Yeah.
also Jewish.
Yeah, he was Jewish.
So
Like,
you can't love the guy and then hate.
yeah, you can't hate who he was. Yeah, he's the best Jew of all, we'd say.
Top
Possibly.
Jew.
Top Jew.
Moses
Woody
is up
Allen.
there.
Whoa.
Moses too. Moses.
Mel
not
Brooks.
bad. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mel. He's so fucking old.
He's the best.
He just in a movie.
They just did History of the World Part
He
2.
was in it too. He
I didn't
did
see it
He-
yet.
I didn't see it, but he was in like a couple scenes I saw clips of.
Mel Brooks movies now are like when my older favorite comics put out specials.
yeah.
You're like, I'll wait.
Will
to
they
watch
make
that.
it through? Are there any old comics still putting out specials? Like Ron White, is he still putting out
He's
specials?
still working.
You don't see any like Ron White specials.
I
or
bet
anything.
he'll put out because he's got money, so I bet he can like hold off and then put out.
He'll have a
great
bad trans take.
Have you ever
Brutal
seen a
one.
comic special like have you seen it live and then then you saw it live and then it was like, yeah, this is fucking amazing, but then when it comes out and then people shit on it, you're like, oh, it wasn't as good as I thought.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I've seen that a couple times.
Where when you're in the room, you're like, damn, this dude is fucking murdering.
Yeah, I remember
Is it-
when Chris Rock was working his Shoot the Messenger special from like 2008.
Yeah.
I was like fresh in the city and I would go to places like I was kind of in at clubs and I'd go watch him run it and it was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was like unbelievable. I was like, this hour is going to be incredible. And then he did the 4 different cities and it just kind of took
It
away
got watered down.
Yeah, how great the hour was.
Well, because they do like these big venues. You were seeing it in the little clubs.
Dude, it was
They should be
killing
filmed in
it.
these little
yeah,
clubs.
Sure. It was
It
just,
was
okay.
unbelievable. It was so fun to watch. And then like at the same time, Louis was working Chewed Up. Burr was working.
Oh, you saw all the legendary ones.
They were like
getting
coming
worked
through, and you
out.
just see these hours. Patrice was working out Elephant in the
Oh
Room,
shit!
and you were like, "Oh shit!"
Is that when you got here? 08?
Oh, I got here in 07.
07.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I got to
wow.
watch. I got here right when Louis put out Shameless.
Oh shit!
So it was like the beginning of the Louis.
Is that
like,
when
Is
the
that-
cellar was coming back too? That's when
Yeah.
it was packed again.
Yeah, that's when it was
yeah.
like going to. It was still like empty at like the later shows.
Really.
But you could like that's why I could go. One time I went and sat down and watched a show because like Big J and DeRosa and a couple other comics like introduced me to the door staff, so they would like let me in to watch sets.
yeah.
And one time I sat down on like the side runners to watch Attell, and just randomly Doug Stanhope just came and sat down next to me, and I was like,
Oh.
and I couldn't. It fucked me up watching Attell because I'm like such a big Stanhope fan.
Yeah, he was my
Oh,
favorite.
that I was like,
Yeah.
I was watching like which jokes made him laugh, and then I'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck.
That one where he's in the cage is the funny. That's like what got me into stand up. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called. Where he's smoking cigarettes because he's like, if it's part of a comedy, you
Oh,
can
that was
do it.
filmed here.
Or that was filmed in
Yeah.
New York. Wasn't
That was
it?
filmed at Gotham Comedy.
Oh, that was
Club.
at Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the
Where he
one.
goes,
I was
because you don't
thinking
want to
of.
fuck up a Tennessee Williams play.
Yeah,
There's,
yeah,
there's a
right.
law in New York that
It's
if I'm a
theater.
performer, I
Yeah.
can smoke on stage.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
he has
that
the
was
whole
best.
rant at the beginning of the special where he's walking down the street and he's talking about why comedy works in New York City. He's like, because it's miserable. So you
Yeah.
need something to raise your spirits.
Miami doesn't need comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Are you officially 15 years here then now?
Yeah,
Officially, or
I've been
16?
here. Yeah, I've been here since January of 07. So
People like now, because like we moved here like 6 months ago or so. People like will sometimes say like, "Oh man, you should have seen like New York like pre
Everybody does
COVID." Is
Everybody does
Do you
that.
have like? Is there like a favorite year? Have you been here long enough now where you're like, damn, like this was the best time in New York? So
I mean-
in your time in your life, or is that even hard to gauge?
the best time, I think the best year of my life. I don't know. I'm having fun now. I like being older and like being a comic in New York. It's what I always wanted to
Yeah.
be. So that's
Comedy rocks right now.
Yeah, it kind of rules.
Yeah.
Like we're at the best time.
It's the golden
sure.
age of comedy right
I'm
now.
very bad at marketing. I know that. That's really like my only complaint is like,
yeah.
oh, you have to really market well now,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
dude,
terrible at marketing.
Because you have a soul.
Well,
You have, like,
I focus on I want to be good at comedy.
Right. And that's no longer the only thing.
No,
anymore.
now you got to be like, man, you got to wear like 7 hats.
Yeah, it's crazy.
to get this ship going. But I would say like the most fun I had was like 2010 to 2013 because I was drinking. I was at the end of my poverty.
Yeah.
It
You
was
had
like,
a little money. You could
I
enjoy
started
it.
making money. I did Montreal. I got like representation.
Oh, yeah.
I got like I did like because I did live at Gotham in 2009 on Comedy Central, and everyone
Yeah.
was like, they're acting like it was Carson. They're like, you're gonna fucking your
Was
life's
that
gonna
live
change.
at Gotham? That was that big then?
It was what Premium Blend turned into.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
Premium Blend was like the big deal for like a showcase show. This is crazy to explain to people, but Comedy Central used to be very big.
Yeah, it didn't used to be an app no one had.
They
Yeah.
used to nurture talent and it used to be like you did live at Gotham, then you did a half hour, then you got an hour.
There was a path.
There was like a path. There was like a
Right.
real path. And I did live at Gotham, and I was a waiter, and everyone was like, get ready, dude. Your life's about to change. And I did
Really?
live at Gotham, and nothing happened.
Oh, God.
I
Isn't that how
did.
it always goes?
I did okay. I went first on the taping. I did okay.
And you got like $1,000.
I got, which I ended up having to pay half of it to SAG-AFTRA.
Oh,
yeah.
'cause
No,
you're
that's
on-
what it was. I was so poor. I asked them to keep all my money, and they were like, "Okay, you can keep your money." And then 3 years later, I got Conan in my half hour, and they were like, "Okay, well, you owe us like $3,000." And I just didn't have that. And
Oh, that's what you have to pay to get into the union or
then,
whatever?
And so
Oh, okay.
how I found out is they stopped me from filming season 1 of Inside Amy Schumer. They were like, I was supposed to be in a sketch, and they called me, and they called my manager, and he was like, "Hey, you owe like $1,500 to
Jesus.
SAG-AFTRA."
That's
And I
like
was
a union due kind
yeah,
of or
you just
something?
have to pay that to
God,
get in.
that's why people like my dad hate unions. It's like
But also
corrupt
why-
shit like that.
But then I have health. I've had healthcare because
Oh,
of that
they do
union
get-
for
okay.
10 years.
oh, that
So
actually
I'm
would
like,
be a great. Yeah.
What it sucked. But I just remember like drinking. All my friends were like starting to get stuff. We were all
Yeah.
like, me, List, Norman, Nate, like Che, Sean Donnelly, Dan St. Germain, Mike
Oh,
Lawrence.
wow, yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
was like working.
Yeah.
Kevin Barnett, Jermaine Fowler. It was just like you had the Creek crew. You had like people that were working the
Cabin
clubs.
or whatever.
Cabin was on
I've heard
fire.
about that
Right.
show.
So yeah.
It was just so much fun to be, but I was also drinking, so I look back like through that.
You were sad. Yeah.
I mean, I was
but having a good time.
It got real dark at the end, but it was so fun.
Yeah, so it's partly like your crew kind of coming up, and just I guess like wondering about like the state of comedy at that time, like the shows you were doing, like the indie shows that were going on. Like, was it?
yeah, but smartphones were rare.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that must have
iPhones
been.
were-
no one's recording your sets.
Yeah.
No one's.
People had smartphones, but it wasn't like Instagram. Like Twitter was around. Twitter was like big, but like Facebook was still
Yeah.
really big. But you weren't like
You weren't on your
like,
phone
like
doing
if you could
that.
go do a set in New York in 2011 right now, like how what would it be like? What would be the most glaring, I guess, difference?
I don't think. I think
Oh.
like people were allowed to have their phones, and the clubs trusted them.
Yeah.
No
be
one,
like-
no one would ever think to take it out. You'd be like a completely rude asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
used to be a thing.
Oh,
where
so
people
pe-
were like, "Your
what
phone's
the-
out? That's fucking rude."
And now you're
Whoa,
like,
wow.
And
now
now
it's
they're
like
like-
my right. It's my
He's
right.
like, "I'm making content."
yeah,
You'll see
yeah.
people front row,
Yeah.
you know, and they're probably like, I mean, these are your
People
fans.
record
You know,
shows every time if they don't take it away.
Yeah.
It's insane. And they're
And
like,
now they have to be bagged up, and then the audience is like, "Well, why do they?"
then
do
they're
that?
mad. They're
Yeah,
a
and
little
then you're like,
mad. Yeah.
Can't we just? But it was like,
Yeah, that's okay. That's very interesting.
But I mean, dude, you read about any history of comedy, and I'm sure there's been shifts. Like we complain now about anything, but you go back to like the vaudeville days, and they had to sleep in train stations. We're making like $15
Oh,
a show,
yeah.
oh my
and
god.
they were
And
like
how to route a tour back
Oh
then?
my
How could you
God.
do
Oh,
that?
yeah,
How would
yeah.
you?
like there's stories of the Marx Brothers just like sleeping in train stations because they're like that was just common.
People are just stealing your acts. You're
Yeah.
like, I'll do that in the Northeast. You do
Yeah.
that in the Southwest, and we'll
Oh
do the
my
same
God.
jokes. They do it all the time. Rodney Dangerfield's dad was a vaudeville guy. And
I
that's
didn't know that.
I just read his biography. Yeah, his dad was a mildly famous vaudeville guy who like
That's crazy.
they all just stole each other's jokes.
Yeah.
And that's how he got into.
You'd like see a
comedy.
guy and like, I saw this guy in Poughkeepsie. He had a good one about a chicken, and I'm going to take that.
And they're like, I'm gonna bring that to Peoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how big of a sociopath you'd look like if you're like, I watched the new Louis special. He's got a good bit about it. I'm going to take that. He has this thing about pedophiles. I like the way he does it.
I just heard someone in Madison where I started stole a joke of mine verbatim and has been telling it for months.
No
which I think is
way.
awesome.
And that's
Can
like
you
where you
say-
started.
That's right. They're doing it at the Madison's Funniest contest. And
Can
someone-
you say which joke?
It's like a joke about Halloween, like women who they're like, I'm a sexy
Yeah, I
Bumblebee. I'm
remember
like,
that.
you're not even a sexy Jessica. And the
Oh,
guy
yeah,
does,
that's a great
he does
joke.
it word for word.
No
I think
way.
it's kind of fun. I like it.
Your
I'm like,
hometown?
good for him.
Having jokes stolen from you.
Have you had jokes stolen?
Yeah, I had a joke. My Freebird of my early career was I did a joke about faking a Russian accent to get out of a mugging.
Oh yeah, you did
yeah,
on Conan.
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
yeah.
a lot of
but,
people
yeah.
like I saw people. So I get the modern version of them stealing my joke, which is people post that joke and don't tag me, and then it gets like there's an account on TikTok where it has like 10 million views.
They post the video of you telling that
Yeah,
joke.
and it's
my
like-
god.
and I get none of it.
They
I
should
get
be
nothing.
thrown in jail.
They're doing like a reaction, right? Isn't that are they side? or is it
There's
just
some of
your-
those, but there's like specifically like 3 or 4 times. I remember that's how I learned about what Reddit was, because someone was like, "Hey, your Russian joke is on the front page of Reddit,"
and they
I
don't
was like-
credit you anywhere.
and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then no one. It just
You're not a Reddit guy?
no. I mean, I'll go on there, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
I didn't know how to harness. This is why I'm bad at marketing.
Yes.
I don't know how to harness that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
got
I just I'm like one of those fucking Motown artists that's
got
like
all your
I
money
wrote-
stolen by Barry Gordy.
Yeah, I got Barry Gordy.
Yeah,
Like
there you go.
everyone's like, I was like, I wrote that joke about a walk to the train, and then someone's like, that's $1 million. That's a
That's
platinum
mine.
Well, dude,
thing, and I get it.
When I started in Chicago, so many people were doing like a version of Hannibal. I remember.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
and
This was, like,
Canaan too.
Yeah, it was either that.
Like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
it was
everyone's
lit-
doing like long stories, but they weren't funny enough to make them work.
It
and
was crazy to see,
terrible.
man.
what were
Yeah.
the people were just doing Hannibal?
Like, what was
his
the Hannibal?
the like his like kind of stage presence. It's like the way he like kind of told
He's
the joke.
kind of
It's like,
goofy up
yeah,
there.
yeah. You're just like, oh, you're just like doing it.
Man, we should do a whole podcast just talking like Hannibal. They say, "Dan, why are you talking like Hannibal?" I said, "Cause I can."
Because he's a
'Cause I
rapper now.
dude, it's vaudeville
Rapper.
Hannibal.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Hannibal, you're out of the game. Now I talk like this.
Yeah, we can take his act. You can take Cosby's act too, I think.
Yeah.
No,
I think you're
but that
allowed.
was definitely a thing of dudes doing the Canaan thing, being like, I'm in a
Cute.
burrito of like emotion or
Yeah.
whatever. You're saying. And you're just like, what? And you're like, what the
was
hell
like-
is going on?
When I started, it was Dane Cook. Dane Cook was the biggest. I started in
Sure,
04.
yeah.
And dude, like people were just like doing the like
The big
I'm
act
over,
outs.
I'm over here and I do this, and it was like getting
Yeah.
laughs, and you're like, but a lot of people, I think Regan was one of the most ripped off people.
Yeah.
When you see people who do Regan, you're like, you're doing Regan, and you think no one else knows that you're doing Regan.
There's a lot of people doing Regan. Because he's not
Hedberg?
famous enough for the regular person to call people out, but every
Yeah.
comic knows it's happening. Yeah.
But then I watched. I even did it. Was like the Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I
I
think
used to like rock on the microphone and like this is why.
Oh, and he moves the
that's why
stand,
comics need to talk shit to each other, because Nate Bargatze was like, he's one of my best friends. He was like, hey, you're doing a little Burr, like it's starting to sound like Burr.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, he called
that-
you out.
that helped me.
Right. You can't call people out anymore. There's not
'cause
that.
they go
there's-
like, what are you jealous of? You're jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm telling you,
It's
you're doing
criticism.
this person's act.
Yeah.
I did that with a young comic recently. They sounded like one of my friends, and I went up and I was like, you sound like him.
Did
You're
they
like,
take it well?
Yeah.
Oh,
were
they
like-
did.
They're
Oh,
like,
okay.
they're young enough that they were like, shit, I'm just a huge fan. And I was like, I know, we all do it.
Yeah.
Like people do. I remember watching like when I moved to New York specifically, so a lot of people were doing a tell.
Sure.
Okay.
A lot of
He's the
people were
goat.
doing the double hand on the mic, the
Right.
you know? And this was like right around. It was like, it tells one of the greatest of all time.
He
If
said,
not the
he
greatest.
said, I just watched one of his specials. He's got the joke was like Hurricane Katrina, or as I call it, God's money shot. You're just like, God damn.
Yeah.
He's got a new
amazing.
special that's coming out soon.
And he's editing it himself.
I love it.
That's awesome.
His
I
road
like
work
that.
fucking ruled.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the funniest.
Yeah, so
But
good.
yeah, you would watch people do impressions. I bet a lot of people now do Sebastian.
Yeah, dude. I've
That's
seen a
the big
couple.
I could see that. Mitch
then-
Hedberg was big for a while.
You
Not
know
as
what?
much anymore.
There
but
was a time
for
where
while.
I think there's always in every scene when you start, there's one guy who's going whole hog on one-liners.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Everyone's like that. He's gonna.
Galifianakis was a big people.
Oh, yeah.
People were everyone was doing his like weird impressions, like
Yeah.
when you did a long-winded impression, and
Yeah.
it was kind of like the joke is that it was bad.
Yeah.
Remember in like 2015, everyone's like, "This is Robert De Niro eating at an Applebee's
Oh my
if he's
God,
in New Jersey,"
Yeah.
and then the joke is,
dude.
"Durr," and then that's the whole
Yeah,
joke.
yeah.
Everyone
Yeah,
did
you go
that.
a long way for a little.
And then the joke is
Definitely.
that next joke, and
Yeah.
that everyone did that.
They,
that pisses me off to even talk about.
the one that went through all of comedy that they never really attributed to was the Chappelle knee slap. So many comics.
that's happened the last like what 3 or 4 years, right?
Last 5. I mean, I
Yeah.
would go as far as to say 10 years.
So he's been doing that for because I think I
Yeah.
just saw that on one of his last specials.
But everyone does it
the
now.
knee
It's
slap
like,
is insane.
It's crazy.
when
'cause
I
it
saw
is-
him, he was banging it on the walls in
That's
like a
so
way that was
funny.
like so far. I'm like, this is too far. I couldn't.
he
dare.
has to know that's crazy.
I think he was banging it like 20 places all
That's
over.
very
It was
funny.
insane.
The
If
knee
you just
slap,
found out he
dude.
has OCD,
Yeah, he just has to bang it 19 times or he can't tell the next
if I
joke.
don't touch the wall with this microphone, my mother will get cancer. Bam, 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 bam.
What was the Chappelle? You did the Chappelle talking about hockey impression.
Oh yeah, that was what I used to do on stage.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, where I was doing Chappelle explaining white sports to the audience because I said he's got nothing left to talk about.
yeah, that's what it
Where
was.
he's like, Mark Messier was drafted by the Edmonton Oilers. I was doing stare at a cigarette comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I used to do all the
That
time.
one really
And then I did
cracks
the
me
prank
up.
phone call, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to chill out on this voice.
You
for
did a
little.
prank phone call?
Yeah, on Legion of Skanks.
Oh.
With a Fox News producer. It was like the perfect setup.
They
Mike Rainey and Tim Butterly from Dad Meat were on Legion of Skanks. And Lewis was explaining this situation where he gave Dave Smith's number to a Fox News producer that works for Tucker Carlson,
Yeah.
who was doing this documentary about comedy.
Oh, I saw that documentary. Oh,
Dog shit.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing for all my friends involved.
Yeah.
It really was. I'd rather see them do porn.
It was pretty sad.
And like if a video leaked of them jerking off, I would have felt
You'd be like,
better.
nice. We
Than them
all
being
do
like,
that.
It's crazy up here.
Yeah.
It's crazy up here.
You can't say
Sometimes-
anything anymore.
You can't do whatever
except
you
on the
want.
podcast I make 500,000 a
And then-
year doing.
Yeah, dude. And then, but they were like, they figured out that this woman thought Lewis knew Chappelle and thought that the number that he gave her wasn't Dave Smith's, but Dave Chappelle's.
Oh.
So then Tim Butterly on the podcast is like, you should prank her as Dave Chappelle.
Oh my god.
And then
she
Big J
called.
was like, Soder does a perfect Chappelle. And so then they called me, and then they called her, and then they muted themselves and three-way called, and then I tricked her into believing that Dave Chappelle and Louis J. Gomez were best friends.
and she believed
oh
it.
my god.
No, hook, line,
Oh
and
my
sinker. And I
God.
wasn't in the pocket as far as my like doing the voice. There's times where I like really have it, and I was walking my dog, so it was like first I was playing God of War, and then I paused and I walked my dog, so I wasn't really in it, but I got a couple good ones off.
You're allowed to say the N-word during that.
Yeah. What's funny is
I had to be Chappelle.
I was
Come
in
on.
it. I'm sorry that I get
I
into
was
the character.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
I was Chappelle.
I adapt all of his mannerisms, including saying the N-word. But I was yelling while I was walking my dog, and this like
Oh
as
my god! In
Chappelle,
Hoboken, where
Yeah.
you live,
and then this dude just came around the corner. And I was like,
I thought Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
was gonna be there.
yeah. But it was,
That's so funny.
yeah.
I do want to interrupt for a second. We gotta take a couple questions.
Oh yeah. Questions
Couple
from the listeners.
questions from we got listener questions.
Thank you.
Yes. This one it might be too broad, but I thought it was kind of interesting from Pat Burke.
Your roommate.
What is the worst thing you can legally do to somebody?
Wow.
That's a crazy question, right?
I mean, sexually, you can kind of get away with a lot these days.
Yeah.
As long as
What's
they
the
sign
worst
an
thing you
NDA.
What's the worst
know,
thing you can do
what-
sexually? Or
just in yeah, like
in
what's the
general,
worst thing you can
that's legal?
Is it
I think
just like
just- you
up and divorce somebody like out of
Well, you
nowhere?
can
or, like-
cheat. That's a
cheat?
thing.
You can
cheating's
do.
bad, but I also think destroying someone's image.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You can lie and like say someone did all this stuff, and oftentimes that'll never wash off them.
As long as you don't
Even
accuse
if
them of doing a
the-
crime, it's not illegal, I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Yeah, you could be like, they're they're racist. That's probably the worst. Yeah.
Because then you're knowingly trying to destroy.
Doxing someone too.
That's
Doxing someone's
bad.
pretty bad too.
Especially if they've done something that's angered a group, and then you're like, here's their fucking info.
Right. Have you ever been doxed?
Dude, one time, this was years ago. I was on MTV2's Guy Code.
Oh yeah.
And it's real Guy Code to dox. It's breaking Guy Code to dox someone. But
that launched a few careers, honestly.
I mean, dude, Andrew Schultz, Chris DiStefano, Little Duval, Charlemagne the God, Pete Davidson was on it, John Gabris. There's a lot of Jordan Carlos. Julian McCullough. There was a lot of people on that show. Donnell Rawlings.
Wow.
There's a bunch of people on that.
Who went
I was like
after you?
seventh man on the bench, dude.
Yeah.
I was just a big
glad to be there.
Big white guy brought in to get boards. Get boards, kick it out to Schultz or Duval or DiStefano.
I would say something voice. Yeah.
I would say something rational, and they'd cut to them being like, make your bitch drink the pee. And then I'd come back and it'd be like, hey, you should have a conversation with your woman. And it'd cut to Chrissy. He'd be like, I make my girl suck my nuts as I wake up. And it cuts to me and I'm like, sometimes conversations are key. I was the boring
They're
part.
like, you're the straight man.
I was the
like,
bread.
Oh, the fucking beta bitch.
Yeah, I was the
Thinks
bread.
women have feelings.
Oh,
Okay,
what are you going to do?
come
Talk
on.
to them like they're people? But they were like, MTV2 was like, hey, we want you to tweet along with an episode. And I always got out of it because I never wanted to do it.
Yeah, because
I was doing it for the paycheck. I was doing that show I had fun doing it. Like I loved working with a lot of those people, but I was doing it for the check.
Yeah, it's not an artistically satisfying thing.
I didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
I was broke. And I just remember they were like, fine. They had me on for 2 seasons. The first season, I got away with it. The second season, they're like, okay, so Dan needs the live tweet on one of the episodes. And I was like, I kept getting away with it. And finally, by the end of the season, they're like, hey, you have to. It's actually in your contract. And I was like, shit. And so it was like me and a couple of the cast members were live tweeting. And Melanie Iglesias, who was on the show.
I don't know who that is.
She's she was like one of the talking heads, one of the women that was on it. Would like, she was like at the time like an FHM cover model.
Oh, sure.
So they were like, they have the hot girls be like, guys, don't be mean. And then it comes back to me and I'm like, don't forget to open the door. And then it goes to Chris DiStefano and he's like, shove your dick in a mouth. and then everyone was like, that guy was cool. The first guy was a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Hot girl said, don't be mean. And I will be just a little bit. But she was live tweeting, like she was one of the cast members that was live tweeting, and like we had like an interaction or something, and some guy on Twitter was like, yo, fuck that dude talking about me. And I was like, what, bro? Like joking around, being like, what, bro? You want to go outside? Like as a joke.
Yeah.
And this dude just comes back with a screen grab of my address, my phone number, my email address.
How did he find it?
Fast. Dude, like,
Oh,
and he
wow.
goes, and then he like screen grabbed it and then tweeted like, want me to keep going? And I was like, no, I'm good. And then he deleted it. And I was like, I was just joking around. And then he deleted all the tweets. And then like his profile disappeared.
Whoa.
So it was like,
there's just these goons out
Whoa.
there.
he just came in, got my shit, put it up, and then was like, what's up, motherfucker? Dude, it
and that
stopped
was in
me.
2015. Now it would
That
be
was in
even easier.
2012.
Oh, wow.
That was 2012
Now
or
you could
20,
get it
20
so easy.
2013.
Oh, that's so
Dude,
scary.
I remember being on my couch and just seeing that tweet come through and being like,
Yeah.
what the
You've just
fuck?
got a steak knife in your hand,
I
ready
was
to
like,
go.
well,
Yeah.
dude, I was nervous the whole night. I was like, that guy did it so fast.
Do you have like
is
off the
wild.
top of your head some of the meanest comments from anything where you're just because they
Yeah, dude, one time Geoffrey and I were working together and I went to the airport and then I searched on Reddit my name, and that is the dumbest
Oh,
thing.
don't
I've
do
ever-
that.
It
Yeah.
put me in a hole.
Especially when
for-
you're on Bonfire. I'm
some
sure
guy said he
people-
would he's gonna kick our ass if he ever sees us. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh, the guy on Instagram recently?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, because what did we say?
It was
We made a joke
it was one
about
of our
fentanyl,
podcasts.
and he's like, "I've lost 3 people to fentanyl.
He's
You
like,
guys
I'll
are
kick your ass."
You guys
He's
are
like, kick
punk
our
ass,
ass, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
the worst fucking possibly not one of the worst weekends, just one of the worst experiences I've ever had doing comedy
yeah.
was at the Orlando Improv.
Oh, wasn't this like right before I
told you this
yeah,
story.
Yeah.
And I used to do a joke about crying on an airplane, and like the lady next, I didn't want to cry because the lady next to me was sleeping. And I just make this joke where I was like, she was doing the heroin knot on me, and I almost Narcaned her twice.
Yeah.
That's just all the line.
Yeah.
It's just a stupid throwaway line that means nothing towards the bit. But I'm like, yeah, she kept leaning on me. I was like, bitch, you almost caught a Narcan. And I got off stage, and this buddy of mine who was going through a lot of stuff, partying wise, showed up. I hadn't seen him in years.
Oh.
And he brought this woman with him that was unhinged. And they just come backstage, and it was in Orlando in the summer. So like, you know when you sweat on stage and then you feel the heat from the outside and that makes you sweat like more?
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah. It's like
there's no reprieve.
The humidity out there is
Brutal.
It was crazy. I get off stage, I'm like sweaty. The crowd was mad. My friend had heckled me because he was fucked up. He like heckled me, dude.
That happens so often, honestly.
And honestly, if you're a friend of mine and you come to the show and heckle, I might be nice to you the night of, but know that I think you're a fucking turd.
Know that
for
the
a
number's
long time.
deleted.
Yeah.
If someone asks for a free ticket, they almost always heckle.
You have fundamentally shifted the way I've thought about you as a person if you heckle me when I get you tickets.
Yeah.
And I got him tickets. So, but we're cool now. I like it. He's doing well. He's on the up and up.
Okay.
But he was bad right now. So he brings this woman, and the first thing she does when she sees me, well, she just comes backstage and she is crying like hard.
Great emotional stage.
And she just, to me, she goes, I lost my boyfriend 2 weeks ago to heroin, and he was just screaming, get me Narcan on the phone with me when he died, and then you did that fucking joke. And I was like, who are you? Because I really was like, I genuinely felt bad, but I also was like, who is
We've
this
never
lady?
spoken in our lives.
Did you think that was intentional? What kind of fucking full court shot is that? That I would know your boyfriend died of heroin and just sprinkle in a Narcan reference?
Yeah, I read the Orlando obits last week, and I fucking knew it was coming.
I got the dossier for your dumb ass before you came.
And now you're already going to a show with another guy. You're fine.
Dude, it was.
Well, in that moment, you can't be like that.
No.
You're just like.
So I was apologetic.
You're just like, I'm sorry for like
just
your.
kept-
I'll cut it from the act. I'll cut it from the act for deleting the tapes.
I just kept going, I'm so sorry you went through that. I'm so sorry you went through that. And then it was like, I think most people would rebound and be like, yeah, sorry, my emotions got ahead of me. I understand you weren't. But she was drunk. So she was just like, and you did that joke. Like in the green room.
Oh,
and
kept saying that while you're hanging out.
Yeah, we just started up.
Oh, that's brutal.
She had a car, and I wanted to go to Wawa. I wanted to get a Wawa sandwich.
She was the only one who could drive
They're
you.
so good.
No, she was fucked up.
Oh.
So, and my buddy had been drinking, so I was like, I will drive your car there and back.
Yeah.
And that'll take time. And then if you guys are better or whatever,
Sure.
you know, because my buddy didn't seem that fucked up. She seemed fucked up. My buddy was fine. He's just like, yeah, I had like 3 drinks at the show. So I was like, yeah, why don't I drive to
Giving
Wawa?
you an hour to sober.
Yeah, why don't we
Yeah.
chill out? So we're driving, and this woman's like, like, and you did that joke, and I was so upset, and you ruined my night. And there's like a carrot, like a giant Ferris wheel, and she's like, I'm driving the car to Wawa.
Yeah.
And she's like, pull over. I want to go on that Ferris wheel. And I go, I think it's closed. And she goes, I don't fucking care. This is my car. Go to the fucking Ferris wheel.
That is tough logic to argue with, too.
I know,
When
you're
it's
like,
their
it is the
car.
ride.
Yeah.
So all I knew is that I had the GPS going, and it was like 0.3 miles to the Wawa. So I was just like, what's up? What? And she was like talking, and I was like, and I just drove to the
Turning
Wawa.
up Tom
my
Petty.
God.
I can't hear you.
I drove to the Wawa, got out, took the keys out, walked around the car. My buddy gets out the seat. I handed my buddy the keys. I was like, I don't care how you get home. I'm never looking at that woman again.
Oh
I'm
my
getting
God.
Wawa.
You're like,
and
I'm getting an Uber.
And I got an Uber home from Wawa. I was
Oh,
like, I don't care if you get popped for a Dewey. I don't care if she gets popped for a Dewey.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
both of you. And then the next day we had lunch, and he was like, I'm so sorry. She's in a bad place. Her boyfriend died. I was like, oh, really? I didn't hear enough about it.
Dude. People can really
Which it was
be
sad.
unruly.
When
I
people
mean, it's
internalize
just-
that, like they think that we're laser focusing on their story.
I mean, a
for
guy
our joke.
tried to rush Jeff on stage one time.
Oh yeah, in Chicago.
You ever tell him this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was Laugh Factory. This guy was like heckling me, and I had a bad riff. I was abortion joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe you should have been aborted. It wasn't really that funny, honestly. But this guy like took off his shirt he had a wife beater under it. He's like this big,
He'd
like
go, "This
big
means I
bald
fight."
white dude. dude. He just starts rumbling towards the stage, and the security had to stop him before he made it.
The first night left.
Literally, the first night they had a security guard, or I would have been toast if it had been the night before.
Do they think, in my mind, like, I'm trying to be empathetic towards this guy, right? So he's like, let me peel off. I'm going to go fuck up. I'm going to go fuck
That's going to look real cool.
Does he think everyone's going to watch him beat your ass? And then everyone's going to be like...
Yeah, because I'm so...
Yeah, it's like... Also, you're probably having a good set, I imagine.
was doing fine. I'm so weak where he wouldn't look good when he beat me up. It would be sad.
You would have made a noise that would have turned everyone off. Where you would have been like, ah! And they'd have been like,
don't do it.
You're getting ass kicked noise.
It would be bad.
Is really, that's got to be something.
It'd be like when I accidentally step on my dog's foot. And she's like, yeah! Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It would be like a balloon having the air come out of it. Yeah, it would be really bad.
I just don't understand what he thinks. Because he probably thought, like, I'm going to beat his ass, and then everyone's going to want to fuck me.
And then they'll be, like, chanting his name, like, do a set, do a set.
Yeah, and he'd like, pick up his phone. He's like, I got some opinions about Bud Light liking trans.
And then, I don't know
Not my beer.
That happens more than you'd think, honestly.
That's intense. I haven't really, there's only been a couple times where I've, like, gotten in the middle of a comic and a heckler after a show.
Yeah.
Have you ever had something
really?
like that? Maybe but that's
like after a show.
Yeah, where like a comic would come to like your friend.
Have you ever told someone to fuck off and it surprises them?
Ooh,
I'm too much of a pussy. I would never. I'm just like, thank you for coming. Oh my god.
I have worked through.
Because they're like, oh yeah.
No. What were you saying?
No, because they come up to you and maybe they're like.
They're
hey,
like,
you're a little dirty, and then you're like, and then if they say that to you, hey, you're a little dirty, and you just go, or whatever they said, you're like, well, fuck off. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I always.
I had a lady.
What was told to you? Yeah.
I was doing Hasbrook Heights Bananas, and it was in this like hotel.
That's in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, and like so you do the it's like a banquet room and they set it up like a it's
really?
a club. And so this Saturday night, I did Friday and Saturday. Friday was great. Saturday I show up and they're like, hey, so there's a quinceañera in the main room. And you didn't sell enough tickets to sell it out, so you're going to be in the side room.
Oh,
and
the quinceañera gets the priority.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I kept like, and the audience was tough. Like on the Late Show, it was like the crowd was tough, and I kept being like, "You guys, if you don't laugh at these jokes, and I hear the bass of a Pitbull song being played at that quinceañera, I'm going to go upstairs and hang myself in the room that they gave me." And so I was like joking around with it, and I got them. Like the crowd started like. We met in the middle, and I kept joking every time a joke didn't work. I'd be like, "Oh, there's nothing like bombing in the room where folding chairs go." It was
the storage closet, kind
this
of
long room.
Yeah,
and sometimes drunk people, when you're making fun of yourself, they think you mean it. They're like, nah,
don't kill yourself.
Yeah, like don't kill you. And this lady kept being like, what? Whatever. And I remember it was right when I wrote this joke about boxers having translators, and so it was like my favorite joke, and I was like going to close on it, and the lady like kept heckling me, and I was like, shut up, lady, I want to get this joke.
She thought she was empathizing, honestly.
And so then the show ends, and I'm like standing there, and there's no green room. So you just like have to say goodbye to everybody, and I'm like waiting for my check, and everyone's leaving, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And this drunk lady walks up with half of her fake eyelash hanging off her face, and she's like, why she can't, they kicked you out. And I was like, what do you mean they kicked me out? And she was like, they put you in this room. And I was like, oh yeah, I was just fucking around. Like that was fun. I was making fun of myself. She goes, why did they kick you out? And I was like, they didn't kick me out. They just, I didn't sell enough tickets, so they put me in this. And she's like, does no one care? And I was like, oh, I don't know. But Bonfire fans were like, and just like fans were like making a line to say what's up.
Yeah, and she's just holding up the line.
And she's like if you're the fan, she was just standing right there, and they'd be like, hey man, I'd be like, hey, and then she'd be like, this guy's really a fan of yours. And I'd be like,
that'd piss you off pretty quick.
And so after like 3 of those, I finally looked at her and I went, hey, fuck off.
Oh yeah.
And she went, what? And I go, what's your busted ass doing standing here?
Holy shit.
She was like, fuck you. And I go, I don't want you as a fan. Go.
Oh my God.
Go. And she was like, dude,
she'd never been spoken like that before. That's good.
Inversely,
they need that.
What's also kind of a weird thing is when like a group of girls or maybe a girl or two heckle you, and then after they try to like they'll hit on you after the show. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, You want to hang now? You know what I'm saying? It's like you were just yelling the whole time.
I've
Or
seen that
they'll do
happen
it-
to you. Yeah.
Or what they'll do is they'll heckle or they'll interrupt the show, and then you'll come down on them, and then they'll go like, I was gonna see if you wanted to hang out, and you're like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No.
This one girl it was at Hyenas in Dallas, and this like table to the right was doing it the whole show. And finally,
Yeah.
I was like, ladies, you guys have been talking the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
What is it? You've ruined the show. What's wrong? And they're like, my friend thinks you're cute. And I was like, well, I don't fuck rude people.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd was like,
Yeah.
oh. And then after the show, this girl walked up to me and she's like, I've seen Amy Schumer like 4 times. I'm basically her. And I go, I know
Yeah,
Amy.
you know her. Yeah.
And if I told her that, she would want to kill herself. And the
This
girl
is what I'm
was like,
cultivating.
the girl
Oh,
like
no.
just didn't understand. She was like, what? You're like,
I'm
yeah.
basically
It
Amy
is.
Schumer.
I'm basically her. It was the exact sentence.
People are truly retarded.
It is.
Ah.
Incredible.
It is insane.
It's alcohol. It's always alcohol.
It is the alcohol. Yeah. Unfortunately, people can't
Yeah.
hold it.
New York Comedy Club just a couple months ago, these girls just kept talking, and it got to a point where I was like, I was going back and forth, and I guess I was like, do you guys just want to fuck after this or something? And then like kind of got a pop. They didn't talk after it, and then at all for the rest of the set. We're outside, we're hanging out on the sidewalk. They all just come up to me and Emil, and they're just like, so like, what are you guys up to? And I was like, what?
They thought you meant it. They thought you meant
I
it.
was just like, I was just like,
Honestly,
ruined
a
the
couple
show.
more screwdrivers, you would have done it. Couple
They were-
screwdrivers.
they were cute, folks.
Yeah, were they
but
blonde?
it is, no.
Oh, okay.
But it was,
that's
dude,
why.
it was just like a weird.
The guys,
does that-
when you kick guys out, what they do is they get like drunk guys when they get kicked out. They go like, I was your fan, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was your
The
fan.
more of a fan they are, the more they'll heckle
And
too.
you're like-
Because they're like, "You're my friend. You responded to a story one time."
Yeah.
Oh,
And then,
Oh.
but most of them, when they get sober, they're like, I am so fucking sorry. I'm sure that girl in Orlando, like if I talked to her now, she'd be like, yeah, I was in rehab after that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen
You saved
people,
my life.
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
people on Twitter like that have been a problem at shows like months later be like, yo, dude, I quit drinking and I think about that.
Maybe that's the rock bottom people need. They need to heckle a comedy show. Be like, I'll take the bullet if it'll save your life.
Yeah,
I'll let you
dude.
ruin my
Yeah.
show.
I put you on a better path.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think maybe like letting him down easy is one thing, but if you just like tell a lady to fuck off, maybe then she's like, okay, maybe that like snaps something.
Yeah.
into
I think
her.
it does. I think it does.
Oh God, there's so many. It's
We
just
solved it, man.
We solved heckling.
done-
far
We
from
solved
it. We're
heckling.
all gonna have instances where we're
It's
just
gonna
like,
keep
oh.
happening because they want to go viral.
Yeah,
They
and
all
now
wanna
comics want it because they're like,
Unfortunately, there is a.
dude, the crowd.
they're
work,
like, ooh,
yeah.
what did you say? Do we get that? You almost see on every crowd work clip like a comic wants to look to the camera guy and go like, are we good?
See if the red light's blinking or not.
And he
See if
goes,
you should go in or not.
Time to go viral. Why are you a stupid bitch? And then in blue text. Because I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Lord
Holy
knows I
shit.
participate in
I mean,
content culture.
We all do.
It's
We all
brutal.
have to. I make fun of my friends that do it, but I have to do it.
You
We
have
all
to do it,
It's
yeah.
a sweet clip. You got to post that.
Some
Got
comics
to.
are doing now. Well, they'll have like a 30-minute like Q&A either after their set or during the end of their set, where it's just like, this is how I get.
Yep.
I don't think.
And in case you're wondering, I took the problem straight to the source, and it was not met with. It wasn't met.
Oh,
with,
you. Oh, I think I know who you. I don't. We don't need to talk about it now.
I just-
but yeah,
yeah. I was
you
like,
broached the subject.
I was like, hey, maybe we don't do that. Maybe it's like fucking up the younger guys, and they were like,
because a lot of people.
I heard,
like,
it's a
some-
lot. I heard it's a few comics, by the way.
People who are like
It's a lot.
headliners who have 45, whatever, do that at the end. But then like young people who only have 20 minutes, then that's
They're
their
like, all
whole
right, so what
set.
do you guys want to talk about?
They only can headline because they have a Q&A session
Yeah,
at the
I
end.
mean,
They don't have an
yeah.
hour. They
Yeah.
can't do it.
it's gonna be like, I think comedy is gonna be like divided into like comics who allow heckling and comics who don't allow heckling.
Yeah.
Because some people will like, yeah, say that again. They
Because
don't
what's
even.
crazy is like jokes now, like the seller, like they clip their shows or whatever.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
like, and the guy that does it's great. But he texted me, he's like, "Hey, here's 2 clips. You mind if we post?" I'm like, "Yeah, those are new jokes. Do not post those."
Yeah.
Like,
shit.
I'm like
yeah.
working on new bits.
Right. We don't want to. You want to burn
and
it.
and it's already burned.
Yeah,
It was a line from a joke about drinking, and I was like, well, I need a clip. Fine, fuck it. Like I'll take that line out of the joke.
Oh,
And you're kind of
yeah.
like,
It sucks because then you
but I
either
wasn't that in love with the joke. It
you
was
either have to write a ton of new material or post all crowd work.
Yeah.
And I've decided I can't write enough new material anymore. It's just impossible.
Can we just repost old stuff?
You can.
Oh, certainly.
I do it all the time, but people do
Yeah.
get mad sometimes. But generally not. Some people will be like, heard this one before.
I mean, dude,
well, don't
you'll
scroll
see-
your whole fucking day.
I mean,
then, Bill.
they're great jokes,
Okay.
but you'll see like Goldman will post stuff from like '98, and it's like gets like 10 million views.
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
I love
yeah.
that.
If I had a Conan from '93, I'd post that for sure.
I haven't
yeah.
posted.
You have so many late nights.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have two, and I haven't
Yeah.
posted any of them. So
Oh,
I'm gonna,
those would do well on TikTok.
I'm
for
gonna post
sure.
those.
Especially
them on
because those
the-
are clean then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Put them on
course.
the talk. We
TikTok.
have-
Anytime you've gotten like banned from TikTok for 3 days, like 100 times.
Yeah, I get banned all the
your
time
bits?
for sex jokes. You can't say any. My fingering joke has gotten me banned 5 times.
Really?
I keep trying to post it and immediately they're like, no, no, no.
Why?
Just because I say dick or cock. You can't do that, but there's
Yeah.
14-year-olds in thongs just like
It is.
fingering
It is
themselves.
so crazy how like there's a. I mean, my fiance goes on TikTok, and
Sure.
so like I'll watch it with her. Like I'll lay in bed and be like, "Yeah, scroll this. What's this? What's this?" Like I have a joke about the self-diagnosed people,
Oh, yeah, you the autism one? I
Yeah.
saw that. That's funny.
but
yeah.
then I also like findoming. Do you know what this
No,
is?
I don't know that one.
Financial domination.
Oh.
Where men are giving women their money, but they're not fucking them. They're just like going broke by giving hot girls their money, and
Whoa,
they like
and that's like
it does
turns
it.
them on.
Yeah, where they're like,
Wow.
there was like a video on TikTok I saw of a guy. It was a gay dude opened the door, and there was an older guy that just held out like a bag of Arby's and like money, and had his head down, and the guy was like, "Thank you," and he was like, "May I kiss your feet?" And they like kissed your feet, and you're like, "Damn, dude."
Wow.
Losing money would never get me hard. that would.
It keeps
Yeah.
me up at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the blackjack table a few times. I've never been hard walking
Yeah.
away with no
I'm
chips.
like, "Oh
yeah.
fuck, thanks, Rachel." Thank you.
Thanks for getting blackjack.
Even when a date's more expensive.
21, thank you. And then they take it, and you're like, oh, you fucking slut.
Yeah, the girl's like, I love mezcal cocktails. You're like, no, you don't. No,
Yeah.
please don't.
No, you like house margaritas.
yeah.
Is there a reverse for findoming? Is there like poor acceptance where she's like, you sleep on the floor? That's so fucking hot.
Yeah. That futon is so sexy. It's
Oh my
so
God, I
comfortable.
love big bags of cereal. It's like,
cockroaches,
fuck.
wildlife in the house.
oh fuck, I'm gonna fucking lose it. She's like, do you avoid debt collectors? Oh.
No bed frame. No bed frame.
Yeah, but it's all like on TikTok, it's all these girls that are like, girl, fuck these guys, get your money. And then
Yeah,
you're like,
oh.
and then you're just being like, hey, fingerings, like wonder cock assemble.
But that's
And then they're
bad.
like, take that off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's all these questions like women,
Build
how
a
much
cock.
money should men make? If
Do
they
you-
don't make 3.7 million, they should be killed.
Yeah, if
And
they don't make
and that's
6
like cool.
figures.
That's fine.
People
whatever.
always tag me in this one because this one woman's like, if he's not making 6 figures a month, leave him alone. And then it shows this guy with 6 action figures, and he's like, so we're good? And like, people
There
tag,
we
I forget what
go.
the joke is, but they tag me in it
That's funny.
because I loved action figures as a child. But do you think like, I think the problem with TikTok is it's like Vine in a sense where you're going to assemble this following, and then it's so close to the government being like, all right, well, that's
Yeah,
gone.
they could just nip it in the bud, and
And
you're
it's
like,
gone.
well, that was a fun ride. There's goes 230,000 people.
And
or
some people
whatever.
will do all right. Like some people from Vine landed on their feet.
But a lot of them were like, they
Fucked.
didn't
I
transfer
do
their
wonder-
followers.
How close is the government actually? How is it to going down? Like how?
I don't
is
know
it-
because
I
then
don't
you're
think
getting
they're
into
gonna
a
actually
whole.
do it.
You're
They-
getting into a whole freedom of speech
Well,
thing.
and TikTok's, they're actually being kind of good. They're gonna like transfer all the data to America and be
Oh,
like,
are they?
Americans are owning the company. They're basically be like, we want to make money. They don't want it to be banned because they make so much money.
It's going to be like
They'll do
when,
whatever we tell them to.
it's going to be like when China let us have Yao Ming. Where they're like,
Yeah. Don't
Look,
hurt him.
you can have TikTok, but we want some stuff in return.
Yeah.
Did Yao Ming have to give the Chinese government like a ton of his salary?
He was
Really?
brokered through the Chinese government.
Really?
No, they like found him when he was like 5, and they're like, we got him." Like they were like,
They're like, he's gonna
give
be
him
the
to us.
image
Well, 'cause
guy for the CCCP.
Well, because his dad's like 6'6", his mom's like 6'2", so they were like,
he was like-
they're like, yeah, he's going to be the next.
Wow.
And then
I love
7'4".
that.
Everyone was like, "There's a 7 there was a guy that's 7'4".
Was
and
he
they're like,
good? Or was
he
he
could
just
play.
tall?
He was good,
He was
dude.
good?
He could play.
Okay. You know
Certainly.
Alex played D1 basketball?
Where'd you
Do
play?
know
I
that?
played at Notre Dame in Boston College.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a b-ball guy.
That's
yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
you
we
would
You
like
can do
that.
the coolest thing. You can do the coolest thing second only to playing a piano. That's
That you
the
put
coolest thing.
piano over
Yeah.
guitar under piano?
Yeah, dude. Like,
I would throw
if you
guitar
could
over
walk into a
basketball.
lobby of a hotel,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just like
Throw a little Elton on. Yeah. a
and
little-
just really start
Play
getting
the
into it.
entertainer. Yeah,
Just
that old
really,
song.
I would just only. I would only do
That is so
large
sick.
pharmaceutical songs. So I'd be like, "Nothing is everything," and they're like, "Is that Sky Rizzy?" And I'd be like, "It is." Or I'd be like, "Oh, O'Reilly."
Yeah, all those corporate
Auto
songs. Yeah,
parts.
yeah.
And everyone would be like, "Damn."
All
I always
State
think
nationwide.
you know someone's really drunk when they do air piano at the
I
bar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but dude, just sit down and be like, Salino and Bonds, injury attorney's call 888-8888.
That would be sick.
But you have the second
You think
coolest
basketball's
abilities
second coolest? I'll
where you
take
can
that.
walk into a gym with
Yeah.
regular guys and then just fuck shit up.
I used
Like,
I've
comics
never
can't
seen him
do
play.
that.
I've never seen him
We
play.
can't go hang out with a group of guys at a bar and be like, "You want me to light this group up?"
Give me a mic.
Yeah.
Give me a
Not
mic.
even a mic, but let me see.
Y'all hear
around.
about that Chinese spy balloon?
Yeah,
I
just
got
move
a
over
few
and you're like,
thoughts.
"What's up? Show me some
Yeah.
pictures. What's this guy?"
Yeah, I played
we
with-
can't just do an open run.
No,
He
no one
just-
thinks it's funny.
I played with my friends a couple weeks ago, and the jumper's still there, but yeah, my body's just pretty like.
You
yeah.
can
'cause
figure it out.
You could
Yeah.
still like Chris DiStefano played Division III.
Yeah.
and he would like warm up a little, and you'd see, be like, "Oh, you could fucking play."
Yeah.
So you can,
I just
like-
need to get back. Yeah. It
Are there any
takes
other
a game.
D1 basketball players who are comedians?
I don't know.
Isn't
What
Calvin
year-
Evans? Calvin Evans played for IU, didn't he? And
What,
the
are you talking
Chicago
about-
comic named
Are you-
Calvin
well,
Evans.
John Laster, who works.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
he
Cellar,
played for CU or
Played
Northern.
Wyoming.
Oh, he Wyoming.
He played
oh,
Wyoming.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
think he played somewhere. He might have played somewhere
He
else.
played in
but-
Minnesota, actually.
Minnesota,
It was
that's what it
Minnesota.
is.
He
Oh,
told me.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in like
Big
the
Ten.
early 90s, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like D1 athletes like Shane Gillis went to West Point.
For football,
For
right?
football.
Right.
Yeah,
Ethan
dude.
Simmons Patterson played safety at Iowa.
Did he really?
Yeah. He
What?
Was, yeah, dude.
He had Iowa.
At Iowa.
You see
Holy
his build,
shit.
you're like, that's kind of.
Yeah, dude, he's-
That,
he's
he
a
must have been
incredible.
fast as
That's a
hell.
nice
That's
bod.
incredible.
But, yeah,
yeah, that's a nice spot.
when you find out that people could play, you're like, damn.
It's,
I've been challenging him to a one-on-one game for years. He won't do it.
So here's.
I think I
crush
could.
you.
I think I could get 1 point on him.
No.
That's
You don't
been the
think I
whole
could
thing.
get
So
1
that was-
point?
That was like the whole thing. I've been like, I used to like the last few years I was running a lot, and then I really injured myself running, and I'm like slowly. So now
Wow,
I'm-
there's a whole other thing we won't. He thinks the
so-
booster shot gave him myocarditis.
Well, that
but,
also
yeah.
was like a month. Like, so we can't get into that.
Can't go down that road
But,
again.
but
Let's though.
I had some ankle and knee stuff, but I played a couple weeks ago. I've been running, and we're gonna play one
I've
on
been
one. I'm just
shooting.
gonna
I've been.
smoke
I
it.
gotta.
Crush you.
No, here's
It's
my
a
only
no. It's like
chance.
it's
I
gonna-
get the opening check and shoot it. That's my only shot.
Have you
Is to
seen him
make-
shoot? Dude, your form is
It
so
does-
bad.
It goes
dude.
in sometimes, not a
I
lot.
feel
I
like-
won't say a lot. I think I'm gonna lose 12-0, but
Can you?
yeah.
How good are your handles?
They were. They used to be good. Yeah.
But
So
are they good still though?
We showed when we were
Yes, he was in the tournament.
When we were in the tournament, I showed him clips of because our point guard got in foul trouble. So I'm playing point guard against Xavier in the tournament.
What
so I
years
was
did
like
you go to Notre Dame?
2010 to 2012. Yeah.
And then Boston College
BC
2012.
2012 to 2015. Yeah.
Damn.
So we were
I
like
definitely
going over-
watched you in the tournament.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet
yeah,
against
maybe,
it for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I always bet against Notre Dame.
that's always
Why did you
the-
transfer?
I was middle of the year. I lost my starting job.
And so you were like,
Yeah, I was
Fuck
like,
this.
well, I went from like playing like 25, 30 minutes to playing like 15 to 20 minutes a night, and I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, that extra. I wanted to be more in the mix, but
How does that call happen? Do you reach out to Boston College like you trying to fuck?
your name goes into the your name goes into the portal, and they I got a bunch of calls that day. Yeah,
Who-
so-
who-
They,
called
the
you?
second you lost your starting job, they
No,
called you up.
because we played through. I was our sixth man the rest of the time. Funny how it happens. Like I go to the bench to be the sixth man. We win 9 straight in the Big East.
Oh.
I was
Isn't
like,
the guy
yeah.
on the Bucks now?
The guy I lost my job to is on the Bucks now. Yeah, so I was like,
Who was it?
his name's Pat Connaughton.
Oh.
So he was like, so it was like
Crazy.
it was kind of the right call by my coach.
Oh, it's like
in hindsight.
yeah, it's like your ex thriving for dumping you.
and now you feature at B Rooms.
Yeah,
it's
so yeah,
good.
yeah. So now, I'll be at
So-
a corner bar in Minneapolis May 6th. yeah.
Who are the schools that called you?
It was Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Nebraska. I had a call with actually Gonzaga call, but I don't think they were serious about it.
And you picked BC over Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State, yeah.
OSL.
It was actually going to come down to Northwestern and Boston College.
Did you like Boston College?
I really, really enjoyed it, man.
So
it was really awesome.
and then did you play your time out there?
I played my time out there, and the same thing happened actually my next year at BC. I started the first 15 games, and they're like, you can't really guard. I couldn't guard anybody, and so I went back to being
So you were more of a point. You were a point scorer.
I was I was a 3. I was just I was a small forward, shooting guard, and shooter. Yeah.
Was that your
just pure shooter?
Yeah, dude, I was a white dude in the ACC. You know,
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
Dude.
Yeah, sometimes going 1 for 8. You know, but
were you recruited heavily out of high school? Obviously, you
top
were D1.
5 player in Illinois.
Yeah.
Wait, were you a McDonald's All-American?
I was a nominee. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Game, dude. I used to watch that game.
Yeah.
Wait, you played in the game?
No. I was nominated. But I knew I wasn't.
Who were the All-Americans? The McDonald's All-Americans senior year? Do you remember?
2010, man, I can't even.
Can you look up the 2010 McDonald's All-American?
Yeah, 2010 was like. I know they had Brandon Knight was one of them. Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
So go down. Tristan Thompson. Oh, Harrison Barnes. I remember I played against them.
Tristan Thompson.
The game I got a lot of my scholarship
Fab Mello.
offers was against Tristan Thompson's team.
Wait, keep going down.
Jeremy Richmond. I played against him
Harrison
in Chicago.
Barnes, and then go down to the East roster.
Yeah, so
Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I remember. I was like
Tobias Harris.
So the way they pick them, it's actually you go into like it's like a tournament. Like they actually the committee picks you. They pick like the top 200 kids in the country. So, and then they tell you you're nominated, and then they kind of go bracket style from what I'm told.
He's
really?
He's gonna fuck your shit up.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm gonna.
I'm
not nearly.
He's
out of
player,
shape. He's out of shape.
But,
sure.
Booster ripped him apart.
Yeah. God.
Fauci kept him
Fauci
down.
Good
got
job.
me.
Fauci was like, I know someone I want to make a little more humble.
No, but yeah, it was actually I got to play. Oh yeah, but
you
like
can still dunk.
Now,
I don't care about back then. I'm talking about the present, baby.
But yeah, back in the I was like, I was okay. I was like, overall, like probably 15, 20 minutes a game. 5, 6 points.
Still pretty cool.
That's so cool.
I had enough. I played enough to definitely like.
You're about the same
but I definitely wasn't like a star or anything.
You're about the same on stage, 15 to 20 minutes. That's about right. You're doing about the same shit.
Were you good at anything else?
I was really good at quiz bowl.
Of course you were.
Yeah, we were great at quiz bowl.
I still don't
won the
even know what
geography
quiz
bee
bowl is.
4 years in a row.
That's what it is. Every river, every capital of every country
capital,
in the world.
every river, all of them.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You and my friend Brian Tannenbaum.
He knows them too. There's a few people.
He was geography champ in middle school.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
then
what
ended
that
up
was
just
me.
doing a lot
Yeah,
of
I did
drugs.
history thing too. There was a history competition.
I wasn't good at anything.
Really? You didn't have any sport or anything?
I sucked at sports. I just didn't have any
Every
encouragement.
sport?
I thought you'd be good at football.
I played
for some
football,
reason.
but I wasn't good at it.
You got to have the opposite. You got to have like discouragement at home. You got to have your parents being like, "You stink."
That's what my parents did. That's why I'm good at comedy.
Yes.
My mom was like, "You're in the way." I was like, "Oh, well,
You're
then
holding me back.
Yeah. I could have a nice life if you weren't here."
Yeah.
Okay.
Your parents supported you, and that's why you're shaking it off in comedy.
Yeah. I gotta go. I gotta fail.
rusty.
I gotta fail a second time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, no, but I always notice people that fail at something like that, like when they're good at something and they fail, they're usually really good at comedy.
Yeah.
Because
Drago is funny. I'll give him that. I'll give him
Shane, talks about like leaving West Point.
Yeah.
And then
Oh right.
and then he had to leave the army.
Yeah.
And like,
oh yeah, I forgot you have to join the army. to go
yeah,
to
and
West
then like
Point.
Michael Che worked at Hilfiger and it didn't work out. There's like people I know that like took L's that would most of the time kill a lot of people, and they just rebounded into comedy.
Because it makes you. But then the people who succeed their whole lives, they're not funny. Because you never had any hardship or anything.
Yeah, and comedy's constant humility.
Failure, yeah.
It's just constant humility.
Yeah.
It's like that's why like I go on the road with you, and you're like going on the road with Geoffrey. You're like, all right. Okay, and then you see all the holes in your act. You're like, all right.
I respect that you bring good people on the road because some people bring open micers to open for them. Like, ugh.
I like people that make me nervous because it's like I want to get pushed.
Yeah,
yeah, that's how you get better.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, that was really good, and then like instead of you being, because like when you go on the road with really bad people, you're almost
You don't have to try.
But it also
Well, opening for Jeff got me to headline a bunch of places.
Yeah.
And then, so
Yeah,
they see you like do like you know, do the job like near him or whatever. They're like, oh, you can just come back and headline. You know?
Yeah, I
they
think
have to-
now that I know it helped you, I'm going to stop bringing it up, bro. I don't really like to hear
but
that.
there is a
know
thing
that.
about like having someone that stinks in front of you. You kind of do the opposite, where like now you've got to rebuild the crowd through your headlining.
Yeah,
set.
and they're mad that you brought that person.
Yeah,
they're
because
mad they paid
you want to
to
have
see
people
that.
where they're like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah, yeah.
I remember one time I was in Helium in Portland, and Katie was watching the show in the back of the room. She was just like chilling by the sound booth,
Yeah.
and I had Caitlin Palufo with me.
Oh, very
Oh, yeah.
funny.
And
yeah.
this guy like turned to his friend and he was like, "I love coming to see Soder because he always brings features that I love."
Oh,
and you're like,
that's cool.
Like she came back and told me that, and I was like, that made me feel so good.
You're like a good curator.
yeah,
of
well, you're like,
talent.
oh fuck yeah, like because if I'm on the road with them, I like them.
Right, right.
Like,
and the people know, like, that's
yeah.
their stamp of approval. I think
So
that's great. I was in D.C. this weekend, and so many people were like, we saw you with Soder.
Oh yeah,
Probably half the people who came to the shows were like, it was because of that
DC
show.
Improv.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
why they
club.
came to the shows.
fucking rules.
D.C. is a great city.
It's a great city for
It's-
comedy.
I really like it.
We
Greg,
are
are you
reaching like the
looking-
hour 10 mark. So
Oh, we are
we've gone
because
a little
we.
long,
Oh, yeah. But you got a
We want
spot to get to.
Yeah.
Spots at the cellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta wind it down. Let's do one more little thing, and then.
It's a good fart.
Oh, no, I didn't even hear that. Okay, I love a good fart. Dragon, get a question from the audience, then we'll wrap it up. Or if you
Okay.
have to go now, it's
do a question.
it's a quick train ride to the cellar. But yeah,
Okay.
one question.
This is such a dumb question,
Okay,
but
great.
if you had to live your life in one T-shirt from a TV show the rest of your life, what shirt would
Who
it
the
be?
fuck asked that? Get them off the Patreon.
Okay,
They're
I'm not
off the
gonna-
Patreon.
Okay, I'm not gonna call them out because you just
Are you wearing
a
a T-shirt with the show on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
for the
that's
re-
what they
for the
mean.
rest
I
of
thought
your
they
life.
meant a T-shirt that someone wore on a TV
You have to live the
show.
rest of your life with a shirt with a shirt with a TV show
Simpsons,
on it.
easy,
I know,
not even
Simpsons-
close.
I was gonna say South Park.
South Park was up there.
For
I
the
like
rest of your life,
Simpsons. I like the aesthetics of the Simpsons a little
Yeah,
better.
the letters,
the
way it
yellowing.
is.
The
Yeah.
I just love the Simpsons. Is the greatest thing.
Wouldn't a
of all time.
Seinfeld one get like no? I guess you're not getting any flack from anyone on that, right?
No one hates Seinfeld. No one hates the Simpsons either.
Yeah, that's a
some
good
people
point.
don't get it. I would say everyone. I don't really like Seinfeld.
Because you
that
wear like
much.
you can't wear like a Breaking Bad one. That's a little
It's
No.
nerd,
much.
yeah.
It's gotta.
too much.
It's gotta be a comedy.
The Wire, you're like, all right.
Oh, yeah,
I
you're
guess.
a nerd.
Sopranos.
Sopranos, all right. I would say South Park for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you got to go comedy. It can't be a drama. You don't want
No.
to people.
I might go real sports with Brian Gumble. Just really fuck with people.
I like that. You go, this guy respects journalism and sports
Like,
and
I
the
don't-
Gumbles.
Yeah, I'm really kind of hitting everything.
that.
Yeah.
That is the highest intellectual
I would
thing you
go.
can watch.
I would go Newsmax. Just wear-
Yeah, right. Infowars. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, I got to win the O'Reilly factor.
Yeah,
The spin
back
stops
in the
here.
day.
Spins out.
Back in the, what happened to that man?
He's still making a lot of money. He's making more money now.
What does he do now?
He's got his own show.
Oh, he's on like a podcast on like Parler or whatever, the Discord or whatever.
Something
Interesting.
named over something we don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on VCR.
I found it on I was on my mom's phone looking for something. I found Parler. I quietly deleted it. I bet
you
she
really?
never figured out where it went. She listened to this. That's where it went, Mom. I deleted it.
She
You're
goes,
on
"I loved you
Parler.
until you betrayed
Sorry,
me."
I had to betray you, Mom. Well, Drago, we've
done it, man.
We do have to sign. What episode number are we on? Does anyone know?
72?
Oh, I wrote 72, but is that right? I hope
I
so.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay, well, Soder, where can the people find you? They know where to find you, but just say it.
This will
anyway.
be clipped and I'll put it on my Instagram several times. DanSoder.com. I'm on the road throughout the year.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. You're
Yeah.
all over.
I don't. When's this coming out?
Next Monday.
So got Indianapolis, then Columbus, Ohio, and
There
then
we
I'm going to
go.
be in Springfield, Missouri at the Blue Room. I'll be at the Comedy Club in Kansas City.
Nice.
Portland Helium. I'll be back there in May. I'll be on the Fully Loaded. I'm going to be on the first weekend of the Fully Loaded Burt Kreischer
oh
tour.
yeah, where is that?
That's in New York, New Hampshire, and a couple other places in between.
okay. Shit. There
That'll
we
be
go.
fun. But DanSoder.com for
You're
for all
going to
my-
the Heartland for a while.
Yeah, dude. I
There
love
we go.
it.
Those are
I'm
the
just
good
getting lost
people.
on the road, dude.
That's good. Drago, what do
To
you got?
our loyal fans in Minneapolis, Comedy Corner Underground, May 5th and 6th.
There we go. Great. My people, that's where I'm from. I urge you not to go to the shows. If you want to have a good time, don't go. Where am I at? Oh, Charlotte, Raleigh. They're good. Tickets are good. Greenville. Very bad. The tickets are very bad. Please buy tickets in Greenville, South Carolina. Okay. This has been episode 72. 72 episodes, N-word free, everyone. 28 more till the big party where we let it rip in Little Rock, Arkansas.
It's going to be great.
If people keep talking about it, I think we might have to actually go.
We'll do it.
We've said we're going to say the N-word in Little Rock, Arkansas for a year and a half now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to end up happening with that. But
if it's a big show,
you should. You know what you should do is you should have a pillow that you scream it into.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I yelled it.
Yeah. No one can. Yeah, that's true. If you yell it into a pillow, does anyone hear it?
Call it your cancel pillow.
It's like,
it's my cancel guard.
That's great merch, actually. You want to say something hateful? Here's a cancel pillow.
You're like, wow, that was. The
You come on one side, say racial shit on the other. Okay, you guys.
Jeez.
Good night and good luck. Thanks for listening. Join the Patreon. We forgot to plug it, but please, for the love of God, do it. Bye.